let's head back into the manor. I lost track of time. The seance will be starting soon. I need to get out to the hedge maze and put a stop to all this before it's too late. Okay then. Wow, look at all these fire things. These torches. Oh my god. Okay, let's quick recap then. You hear that? Okay, so a quick recap in case we cut the episode, and just because we've learned a lot. We believe Walter Blake, the son of the Marquess, is not real. We think Coventry, through some means, possibly through the spirits that want to be free. What are their names? I can never remember what the this is the guy, isn't it? Govenu. Possibly through him, who wants to be freed, who wants to be able to pass through the portal, has bewitched the staff and Marquess Blake to believing he has a son that he's going to sacrifice in order to bring back his wife. Now luckily we've powered down the seance by taking all the spooky goo. Wow. Look at this. Luckily we've powered down the seance, so it should be minimally effective, but we've got a stone to protect us. And I guess we're going to find out how this is all connected. But Coventry is our culprit. Coventry painted pictures of Walter Blake over existing portraits to make people believe he was real. Now, some people are still going to be at the seance, and some people are not. Here we go.
The circle is sealed. We call now upon the spirits.
There he is. It looks like they've begun. Okay. Milesian imagery. The shoe's still there. Okay, so we've removed many people from these circles. There are the Callahans. There's O'Mara. Walter Blake's there. Can we walk around? Nope. Shit. Oh well. There's an empty space here. It's for me. Waiting. For me. I shouldn't keep them waiting any longer. Wow.
To come forth. Be witnessed by us. Be heard by us. Age posco. Nego te recusare.
Good Lord.
Okay.
They come.
It's quite the visual. Okay. Oh, shh. Did they all die? Did they all die? I thought we were protecting them. Not the Callahans. Okay, they're still sort of there. I'm alive. I'm okay. But Carmela, she's on the others. I don't know. Was that Carmela that turned into ash? I mean, I guess she knew she was dying anyway. Was that her dying? Was that what it would be like to die from... Okay. Yep, that's Carmela. Jesus Christ. She's dead. Well, she said she would be. Oh my god. What have we got? The seance ended in disaster and death. The real ritual then has begun. Whoops. Okay. Okay, we can't click on these people. I think those are the Callahans. Walter Blake. I think Coventry was over here. Oh no! That's the way back. Oh, I didn't notice these people up here. Okay, 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 okay. This is fine. And that's the way forward. Oh, look at this weird effect around the outside of the screen. Do I want to know?
What are those things? Are they Fae?
Look, it's got things in its things. Okay. Oh no. I guess I should have known better. Yeah. I just had to know. I couldn't not. I mean, that's good. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, we can continue from where we were. This is weird. Oh no, that was my previous save. It says 8 o'clock though. I think that's because there was no time in the Blake residence. Okay. Okay, well now we know. Don't approach the Fae because they'll cut me in half. My God. Yeah, I'm alive. I'm okay. She's dead. Yep, that's she's dead, and it's saying we should go that way. I'm gonna go just to get the evidence again.
What are those things?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Bye. Absolutely horrifying. Unearthly creatures of the woods, rivers and hills. Okay. 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 Luckily they don't move. Well, I think we want to get to here, don't we? Oh, Jesus. Ah, sweet Jesus. I think this is where we want to be. Okay, here we go. The magic doorway.
The energy goes this way. But how?
I don't know. Okay.
My head.
Speak your name to enter.
It wants the culprit's name. But who?
Oh, we know who. It's bloody Coventry. Come on.
Welcome, Simon.
Bloody Simon Coventry. Mystery solved. J'accuse. J'accuse. Mausoleum. Interesting. Okay, well, we are... Culprit, tick. Ritual is now where we are. Let's finish this off. Oh my god. What a disaster. He's the bloody culprit. I'm excited to find out what the deal was. A secret room full of things belonging to Simon Coventry. Let's, I guess let's just click on the lever. Bedding. Okay, let's start here. A bed with research materials on it. Was Coventry sleeping down here before the event? Oh, maybe. There's the Ogham. They're writing on the staff. That I'm less sure about. I don't immediately recognise it from the stuff we've done before. Okay, what about over here? The tag says Miss Dean. So this is where it was brought. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. Wait, what's happening? That was weird. Bit of a glitch, but maybe we're trapped in here. Here lies Norman Blake. Died in a church cave-in. 1805 to 1836. Now, Norman Blake... We're going back a bit here. I can't remember what his exact deal was, but we couldn't find him in the library. There's no books on Norman Blake in the Blake section of the library. And then we never could follow up on that. Where it says buried as he lived alone is scratched over frantically. Okay. And there's the Walter Blake paintings. That's the practice. Various paintings of Walter Blake that Coventry must have discarded for whatever mistakes he feared people would see through. I mean, it looks fine. The reference photograph has Henry Blake, 1840, written on the back. Okay. There's his paintings. We'll go to the middle in a sec, don't worry. There's the manor. There's the symbol. Some rough notes. Oh, Finn recognized me. After all these years. He was only a child when I visited his camp seeking their wisdom. Even my own flesh and blood didn't know me. In hindsight, it was probably memorable enough. A wealthy outsider coming to ask of their god. I shouldn't have panicked and attacked him, though. That was risky. Yeah. But what if he outed me? Thankfully, I paid in those catacombs as a lad, and I know all their secrets. My back is in agony today for it. I've taken most of a bottle to ease the pain. By tonight, back troubles will be a future problem. This time, I'll care better for my joints. Who is Coventry then? Who is Coventry? If he was here as a boy, this time I'll take better care of my joints. Is he resurrecting himself? Is Norman Blake possessing Coventry to come back as Walter Blake, who doesn't exist but could exist? Henry Blake. I don't know. What is this? Norman Blake. Yep. Same shit. And then here we have
A collection of papers, a birth certificate, and a journal. It's the birth certificate of a Henry Blake, who seems to be the older cousin of Jonathan Blake, the actual heir to the title and lands here.
And he was scratched out of the family tree thing in Jonathan Blake's house.
His father died when he was still a young lad. Rather than pass the title and lands to Henry, an attempt was made on his life by Jonathan Blake's father.
So the older cousin of Jonathan Blake would be the uncle. The father of Henry Blake would have been Jonathan Blake's uncle. An attempt was made on his life by Jonathan Blake's father. So I'm struggling to pass this. So Henry Blake is the cousin of Jonathan Blake. Henry Blake's father died when Henry Blake was a young lad. Rather than pass the title and lands to Henry, an attempt was made on Henry's life by Jonathan Blake's father. Okay. Sorry, it took me a minute to pass that. So Jonathan Blake's father tried to kill Henry Blake so that Jonathan Blake could become the heir of the Blake fortune.
Henry's mother took him and fled. She died soon after, leaving him alone in the world.
Okay. Is Norman Blake Henry Blake's father? I don't know if that adds up.
All he had were his father's notes, the notes that resulted in his death. Among them, the sigil.
Are you Henry Blake?
He spent much of his life studying the occult to make sense of the sigil. And eventually, much older, he returned to the manor, armed with the understanding of the ground's secrets.
Right, so Coventry is Henry Blake. Coventry is Jonathan Blake's cousin, who should have inherited the house if Jonathan Blake's dad hadn't tried to kill him.
He had adopted the identity of Simon Coventry, a man who had also recently lost his wife. Over this, he bonded with the Marquess and used that to gain the access he needed to search the grounds. He found the chamber his father had died opening and was able to get inside.
Okay.
That is where he discovered Guivenu, locked in a deep sleep. The god's dreams already coloured by the events happening around him. Coventry took advantage of this through prayer and something he calls his Shrine of Images. And Guivenu's dreams reshaped the minds of everyone around him into thinking there was a Walter Blake who's been crippled in the accident that killed his mother.
Okay. Yes. But to what end?
Because to unlock the gate he needs Blake blood. It says here they are the last of the third Milesian bloodline.
Okay.
The Marquess will kill himself, thinking he both kills and frees his son.
Okay.
The god's dream can't force anyone to act outside of their interest. He couldn't be made to kill himself, but he could be tricked into doing it for the right reason.
Jesus.
Then with Blake gone and the god freed, Coventry will ask for his reward, to have his youth returned.
Okay. I think I understand. So I'm just going to recap for myself. There needs Blake blood to unlock the gate. The gate needs to be unlocked because that's what Guivenu wants. To get... So it's kind of... I was going to say everyone wins. Not everyone wins, but Coventry and Guivenu win if Jonathan Blake kills himself, because Guivenu gets the blood, Coventry gets the the estate.
He will then take his place as the heir in the form of Walter Blake, the son with paintings, documents, and mesmerized staff to vouch for him as the next in line to the title.
Okay. Okay. A sigil fell out of the pile. What do we got? Shadowy figures back. The missing Blake heir, Henry Blake. Okay. So does that mean... Whoa! We don't know what the sigil does yet, do we? Okay, I understand. I understand. This is a... very convoluted plan, but quite efficient when it pays off. Because you get the blood for the ritual. You get the death of Jonathan Blake in order to open up the estate to Henry Blake as the true heir. You've got the vision of Walter Blake that will allow Henry Blake to step into the role of that child and start his life afresh with the youth and life he believes he should have had. I'm reckoning with the morality of what's happening, because there's been a couple of storylines in this game where people have done heinous things for, if not good reasons, but understandable reasons. And like we spoke with Darcy before we went into the Blake residence, and like she killed her husband because her husband was unfaithful while she was going through a miscarriage, which is pretty heinous of him. And we were like, look, just don't do it again. I get you. Now here, Henry Blake has been wronged. Someone attempted to murder him and took away what was essentially rightfully his, and he wants it back. Now that person was not Jonathan Blake. As far as we know, Jonathan Blake, we don't know if he's a very decent man, but he seems a reasonable, normal man for someone of such wealth. I don't think he's done anything as heinous as his father attempted to do, as far as we know. So there's part of me that's like, well, good for you, Henry Blake. But there's a part of me that's like, and now I'm remembering that the seance was going to kill everyone, which was very evil. So not good for you, Henry Blake. I was trying to find a part of it that was like reasonable, because maybe he does deserve to have his life again. Maybe everything was taken from him, and that feeling is very real. But the intended sacrifice is too much, because in theory everyone at the seance was going to die, and I don't know how many people at the seance did die, but definitely Mantovani has. But she did choose to, she did choose that. She did know she was going to die, and she did opt into it because it would fix things with her family. Anyway, sorry, I'm waffling. There's a lot of information just been dumped on us. Photograph of Walter Blake, with the writing on the back says Henry Blake. Yeah. Yeah. Guess we keep going onward. Oh, sorry. I forgot we got a hypothesis to do. Oh, there's stuff in here. Yeah. The culprit, after all. Ding, 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 ding. 18 out of 18 evidence pieces found. After all that. Hypothesis. Yeah, we'll do that in a minute. So all of these red lines, it's like, no, that's not true, that's not true. These are all his lies. What does Mr. Coventry's intent towards the entity? Is it a bond formed by kinship or manipulation? The sheer question of it is absurd, but does he really think this will work? So he only kidnapped O'Finn because he was recognised. Okay, forged paintings, we know all of this. Can't talk to Mr. Blake. Can't stop the ritual. Okay, so we know what the hypothesis is going to be. The hypothesis is going to be... We've just gone through it. Simon Coventry / Henry Blake. Well, okay, here we go. The whole hypothesis is going to be Simon Coventry is actually Henry Blake, Jonathan Blake's lost cousin, who wants to get his estate back by having Jonathan Blake kill himself at the thing, and also freeing blah blah blah. I don't know how it's going to phrase it in the hypothesis, but that's it. Freeing Guivenu, being implanted back as a youth, killing Jonathan Blake, he's the lost heir. That's the general gist. I don't know how much of that is going to be in the hypothesis. Simon Coventry's goal is to free Guivenu in order to assume his role as Henry Blake. Oh, to assume the role of his second cousin? Walter Blake, to inherit his estate because his real identity is ousted heir, Henry Blake. Right, Simon's goal is to free the entity in order to assume the role of his magical fabrication, Walter Blake. Oh yes, it's not his second cousin. It's not a real person. To inherit his estate, ancestral home, because his real identity is ousted heir, Henry Blake. What if... I know what happened here. Wouldn't be second cousin, it would be first cousin once removed.
Simon Coventry is really Henry Blake, ousted heir of the Blake title and fortunes. He has returned with the intent of using magic to reclaim what was taken from him. I need to stop him.
I wonder how we're going to stop him, because it's not like an action game. We're not going to engage in a battle of a punch-up or things. What are we going to do? Who is Simon Coventry? I now understand that Mr. Coventry is actually an heir to the Blake estate. Henry Blake. I'm actually unclear as to how many people are alive at the seance, but seeing as only one person turned into bones, I'm going to assume the rest are savable. Ooh. Let's start here. How are we going to do this? Yeah, I think this is okay. Let's do the big one. And we come all the way around. There we go. Hello? Ah, sweet Jesus. Oh, the mausoleum door. Remember how we couldn't get into those? Okay, well there's a lot of Fae around. So maybe we avoid them. Oh my god, and we got the distortion at the edges of the screen. Only on the left edge of the screen. Oh no, a little bit on the right. Can you see? Just in the corners. Ah! There's more of them. They're closing in on the church. Into the church we go then. It's the church man. Oh, whoa. Whoa! I have to go down. The Reverend. Let's look at it. Is he dead? He looks dead. How do we... Oh. Oh, there's like a very narrow window being able to click on him. The Reverend. He's been murdered. Dead Reverend. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. The Fae are inside the church. There's nowhere left to go. But forwards. Okay. Is that Evelyn? With stuff floating around her. Oh, Lord. Okay, here we go. That's uncool. Oh, no, that's Grievner. Coventry. Henry Blake. Oh, there he is. There he is right there. He's praying to the entity. To the smithing god, Grievner. Is that Evelyn Dean? And is that O'Finn? Okay. We got time. Yep. I'll be there in a minute. What we got here? Yep. Yep. Sandwich. Yep. Everything's adding up here, just as I expected. Okay. Machinery. What are these vats? Vat.
It's Mr. O'Finn. He seems to still be alive. I can't see a way to open this and get him out.
Okay.
Miss Dean!
There you are.
I need to find a way to get her out while she's still alive.
I can try. Miss Dean is alive. She's alive. I know you're not the most likable person, but I'm glad we found you. Wow. Look at all this stuff. Wow. Okay, on we go. Just going to have a look over here. Okay, sure. The maps. There's some more machinery. Oh, God, it's Walter Blake.
No,
No,
Walter.
it's, Oh, Marquess, there's no one there, mate.
No tears now. Not long to go. Mummy will be home soon. Thanks to you. You big, brave boy. This will only hurt a moment. Then Daddy will talk with the floating man and bring you and her back.
I mean, Marquess, I know you're bewitched, but it doesn't make any sense. It's not a sacrifice if you both get to come back stronger.
Then we'll all be together again. One big, happy family. What are you doing here? I won't let you stop this.
Oh, mate. I need to get through to him. Okay. Okay. Right, where are we at the moment? What thing are we in? We're in the ritual. Okay. Full sacrifice, hidden chamber. I don't know what the hypothesis is going to be exactly. But it's going to be something like... I'm trying to phrase it in a way that... we've sort of said it a few times. Like, the ritual... Okay, so we're going to spill the blood of all three lines of the Milesian descendants to bring back Grievnu, or to allow him to go through the portal. Oh, are we just thinking of a thing to say to Blake? You cannot... So it's either going to be like, you cannot save your son, or you cannot sacrifice your son, or you cannot resurrect your wife. It's going to be like, whatever he thinks he's doing, you can't do that. you've been bewitched, hypnotized, whatever, by Coventry, so he can take over your manor. You cannot save your family. You've been tricked by Henry Blake, so he can take over your ancestral home. I think that's right. What if? Here goes nothing. Okay, so it's a battle of conversation. You cannot save your family. You've been tricked by Henry Blake, so he can take over your ancestral home.
Fooled, but I would have all I could ever. Who was restraining me? And
I can say one thing about Mr. Ward. He's very good at penetrating the minds of people who have been befuddled by magic.
where is my son?
Telling someone they don't have a son has got to hit them almost as hard as having that son dying, right? Like there's got to be a painful grieving process to that.
Where is my boy? He should be here, shouldn't he? No.
Like it's really sad, right? He thinks he has a son and he doesn't have a son. What? How do you deal with that?
I thought. No. I didn't. They were not my thoughts. Not at all. They were put there.
I mean, it's got the loss of a perceived son, which is about as strong as losing a real son in your mind. It's a lot to process, but with the added layer of not being able to trust what you think is real anymore, right? This has got to linger. He can't think, like, even when this is over, that he can fully trust his own mind, right? That's got to play on you.
There is no Walter. Just a cruel illusion. My boy, taken from me.
Yeah.
And Mary, my Mary, she is truly gone. Never coming back.
Yeah.
Who would make a man think such things? Have such hope? You're right. I have been fooled. By a relation I did not even know existed. Fooled by the only real flesh and blood that I have.
Yeah. Don't do anything stupid. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Get off me, you fool!
How could you do this to me? You gave me hope. You gave me a son, only to take them from me?
Well, like I said, I can't blame his reaction.
Some lucidity, is it? I am only doing to you what your grandfather did to me.
Yes. But he's not his grandfather. You can't just pass on the punishment to his relations. I mean, perhaps some reparations are in order. Like, we don't know what Blake would have been open to. I do think you are owed something, but this is not it.
I should have been the Marquess of Doon. And I will be. Islam, Jonathan.
You will be nothing!
Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. We need to get the people out of the tubes. The Marquess could not be saved. Marquess Blake was determined to resurrect his wife at any cost, but he'd been tricked into nearly sacrificing himself by the ousted heir, Henry Blake, posing as Simon Coventry. Now he's dead. End of the line. Witness the end of the Blake legacy. Jesus. Enraged, Jonathan Blake killed Simon Coventry, really Henry Blake, and accidentally killed himself, ending the Blake bloodline. Can I open this now?
Miss Dean, I need to.
God, here we go. Onwards we go. Let's not try and muck this up. Fake toys. Right. A broken stone. There's some of the Ogum. Ooh!
The Tuatha Dé Danann and the Milesians faced off for the final time at the Battle of Taltiu.
This is the history that we learned about. So that's the
After
Tuatha.
much death, a truce was called. They agreed to halve the land between them.
Okay, so we read about this in the library. I think this is the Tuatha Dé Danann, and this is a Milesian. In fact, yes, he's got a little Milesian logo on him. Crest.
However, the Milesians tricked the gods by claiming the top half, so the Tuatha Dé Danann went below ground through this here portal.
Wow. That's a visual, isn't it?
We've stayed behind to build a lock for the portal that could only be opened again by him and the three Milesian leaders, using their blood.
I see. Okay.
Once the portal was closed, he fell into a deep slumber, from which his dreams inspired those who lived here for millennia.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's why we're seeing him in the dreams. With a little help from the sigils. Well, not a
Until
sigil, but the
war
swirly thing.
came to the land once again.
Okay. Is this the bloody British again? We cannot stop fucking things up. Yep.
Oliver Cromwell and his forces arrived, led in this region by Edward Blake.
God damn it.
They killed those living here, the people Guivna had formed a bond with over the generations.
Imperialism is bad. International imperialism and shows of force over predominantly peaceful people is bad. And now look what it's done. Not that we have to worry about that anymore.
Their blood seeped into this chamber and tainted his dreams. He felt alone and scared. He feels alone and scared still.
Jesus. So Guivna, once again, like a twist in how we perceive people. Guivna, a very scary entity in our dreams and in, I guess, some of the kind of weird acid trips we've had, seemed malevolent. But was just a tricks god who was trying to do his duty. And the violence of man penetrated his good nature.
He just wants to go home to his people.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's the open portal. Coventry's. Henry Blake's, rather, painting of himself, inserted into the family as Walter Blake. Right in front of Guivna. A strange type of shrine. This must be how Coventry seeded the idea that into the god's mind to keep it front and centre in his thoughts, so they'd be present in his dreams. Which is how it infiltrated the minds of the staff and guests here, tricking everyone into believing the child was real. And how he clouded everyone's mind about Miss Dean's disappearance into her room, as well as the staff's minds to their having met him before this event. Okay, I'll be back, Guivna. Whoa! Is this Guivna? Imprisoned here for an eternity? Something deep inside of me is screaming not to get any closer. Okay, back we go. So what's the deal with the... it's because there's that floaty thing in the background. Oh, it's just the portal, isn't it? Okay, that's fine. Oh, this dial is just this, isn't it? Right, it's the same dots. Okay. And that, I believe, is the open sigil. Confront, act, stop the ritual. I'm going to go back one. I always forget. Nope. Nope. Oh, for the love of God. Nope. I want the open and closed ritual markings. Here we go. Oh, it's not either. It's the same layout, but it's not either of these. It's very close to the open though, actually. But it doesn't have this bit here. And actually I should just go to the sigils page. No, it's close to the open, I think. Yeah, there's this line here. If it had that line there, it would be open, I think. Let's have a look at it. A pillar with a sigil carved into it. What is it for? Let's put it in. These dials, they seem to be some kind of control panel. I should be able to arrange them in such a way to allow me to perform a sigil here. But what sigil? Open. Close. Release. I think I can do open. I mean, they don't line up exactly, but I feel like I... No, maybe not. So, do I want to do open or release? If I want to do open... How do I want to do this? That's kind of lined up. Is that right? Oh, these outside ones here, these four, has to be, you know what? You know what? This is what this bloody thing is for. Right. Boop. Boop. So open is like this. And then this is kind of like it's not quite lined up. And then this. And then this, right? That feels right. I don't think I can make it work any other way. Okay, that's fine. That's open. Clothes. So clothes is going to require that, and then this one. So that would close the portal. But we want to make him go home. So this is going to be like this, right? Sort of like that, and then like that, right? That's fine. Okay. Right. Why do I have the feeling I want to do release? Open or release? Okay, we now have to do open, so let's ignore that for now. Release, we need the big square ones around the outside. We need yeah, these four are going to be like that, and then I think the middle one is going to be like that. So I think that's going to be like that if we want to release. Straight through the middle, like that, and like that. That looks about right, doesn't it? So the question is, which one do we want to activate? I'm tempted to go release. I mean, but open was right there. Maybe open. Which is like that, like that, like that. Something is happening. Maybe we have to do both. Ah, sweet Jesus. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. I think let's go with it. Nope. Can't do that. Yep. Let's do this. Let's do the middle square. Oh, middle square. Outer square. Yeah, just in to out. Okay, so that's going to open the portal. Right? Right? Is this good? Ah, balls. I think I've accidentally unleashed hell. Ah, shit. Not the horse. Not the horse. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no. I've done so much bad. I've ruined Ireland. Wow, I guess we had 3 endings. Right? What, depending on what we chose to... Wow! Wow, we really had to commit to that, didn't we? Oh no. What a game. So, oh my god. Okay, so opening the portal opened up the Tyrnadach. I think it's called Tyrnadach, and let all the gods out instead of letting him in. So what happens if we released him? He just wanted to go home, but I don't know if we can send him home. I think we might have to just close him off. There's some lovely acting in this. I don't remember Evelyn Dean having a voice. Dear Clue. Wow. I did wonder if oh, there are Saoirse and Fia had the same voice actor. I did wonder if there was some overlap with the voice actors, but there isn't a lot from what I can tell. Which is very cool. So let's say that that is our true ending, because that's what we chose. We could have thought a bit harder. I did wonder about... Now I'm wondering if clothes is the best way. We just leave him in his deep sleep. Wow. It's a lovely game. It's a very rich game, very earnest in its storytelling and characters. And like I said, like the characters' stories were the heart of this game. The overall mystery was interesting and spooky, and had some nice twists in it. I did enjoy that. I did enjoy the Coventry turning out to be the lost heir. Because when we found out it was Coventry, or when we highly suspected it was Coventry because we'd X'd everyone else out, it wasn't clear why it was him. So, and that was a nice little twist of Walter Blake not even existing. And spooky pets. Oh, that's cute. That's really nice. And spooky babies. Very cool. Yeah, I think this game, the heart of this game was built on the characters and their stories. And I liked how the game wasn't afraid to go dark, and it wasn't afraid to get real with how the stories were grounded in, you know, realities of the time in Ireland. Related to... I'll just turn this down slightly while I talk. You know, religions, cultural attitudes, imperialism, you know, we had the Murphy storyline where her baby was stolen. We had husbands cheating on wives while they were going through an awful miscarriage. Yeah. And I liked that it was earnest and it was deft with the way it told some of those storylines, the way it dealt with people's attitudes to things that were going on, what would happen to each other. I liked the kind of arcs of the journey we went on with characters. There are often characters where we would start with a certain impression of them, often worse than what they actually turned out to be. They seemed sinister, they seemed shady, and then the more you got into it, the more they became humanized. Even if we didn't agree with them in the end. Like Skerritt, I think I was very sus about Skerritt for a long time, but we even though we didn't agree with what he was doing, we sort of understood why he was doing what he was doing, why his legacy was so important to him. We understood why Saoirse Murphy was so sus. We got to explore the relationships between the Callahans, both with each other and with the land and with the other people in the seance. It was, yeah. And it was respectful of a lot of the darker turns it went into. It was thoughtful in how it approached them. So I was interested in, you know, I felt satisfied when we got to the conclusions of most of the characters, I think. And the mysteries. It was fun. It was fun. I think in terms of the mechanics, I really liked the time being the constraint. You know, you look at things, it takes time. You have to be very careful about how you investigate and where you zero in on. That was quite a cool mechanic. I hadn't really seen that in things before. It might be in other mystery games, I'm not sure. I think overall the balance of how much time you had was quite good, because I thought we did have a bit of excess time at the end. I'll give you that, because we kind of blasted through the 6 o'clock, we blasted through 7 o'clock, but that was okay because there was a big period in the middle. And again, that part of that's going to be how you play. Not everyone's going to get the same kind of distribution in how far ahead or behind they feel like they are. But to me, I felt like we started off making good progress, and then late on the Saturday and kind of early on the Sunday, basically until Sunday afternoon, really, I was getting worried. I felt like we had a lot to do. We weren't making as much headway. I felt like we hadn't stalled there. I felt like every episode, for the most part, we were making progress. We were doing things. We were exploring things. Sometimes we were a bit headbangy. There were a couple of episodes where we did struggle, but I didn't feel like there was too much of that. I felt like we kept moving forwards, but we kept building up this seemingly insurmountable pile of things we had to deal with. We had loose ends all over the place, and I was starting to get worried. And I think that's good. I think it's good to have that fear. I don't think you should feel like you're on top of everything, and that it's easy, and that you're definitely going to win. I definitely had the fear that I was going to lose. I wasn't going to be able to... Well, I've only just noticed this cloud is a skull. Anyway, I felt the fear. Part of me didn't think I was going to solve the overall mystery and figure out where Evelyn Dean was, who I've just killed, along with everyone else. And I didn't think I was going to save everyone. I didn't think I was going to get all the goo out of the machine, but we got there in the end. And that run of, we had a few episodes in a row where we were just smashing it, and it felt satisfying. And it like, we got to our kind of, I guess in the narrative structure, there's that dark night of the soul, isn't it? Where we've made progress, and then suddenly everything feels like the floor has fallen out from beneath us, and we're stuck, and we're not going to make it, and we're feeling tragic and worried and scared, and then we overcome it. That felt satisfying. So pacing wise, I think that was quite good, even though we had that time at the end. I loved the ending there. I loved the run through the residence, and then having that twist in the mausoleum and under the church. So I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to see if we can try the other endings, so we all know how that went, if you'll permit me. I think my monitor has I was going to say a dead pixel on it, but you can... It's coming up in the recording. Can you see it? Just to the left of my reticule. There's like a white thing there. But it's not the monitor because it's being recorded. That's weird, isn't it? What is that? Okay. Okay, we've done all this. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to pause you and just go through the shit we've already done to get to the decision again. Okay? Hello, we're back. Isn't that fun? Look at this. R.I.P. baby? Question mark. We got a tick on Walter Blake and we didn't even have to think. We didn't do a hypothesis. We just concluded. This recording that I've been doing is nearly 3 hours long and I'm starting to worry about it. Maybe I should stop it and restart it. I'm going to do that. And we're back. That was... You missed half a second. I just got worried that if we lost it, we'd lose all of it. Although I'm recording in MKV, which apparently protects it. Anyway, we're back here. So we look at the stone. Actually, we'll look at that. Yeah. And now we're back where we are. Now. Oh. Yeah.
The Tuatha Danann and the Milesians faced off for the final time at the Battle of Time.
Sorry, I forgot we still had to do that. We've seen it all.
He just
wants to go home to his people. Yep. Right, maybe the ritual will give us some information. Okay, I'm going to save. And hopefully we won't have to do all that again. Oh, I didn't notice that before. A painting of Mary. Henry Blake wielded grief like a whip to a slave. Wow. That's a phrase, isn't it? Henry Blake wielded grief like a whip to a slave. Jesus. Okay. For evidence filed. Sigil that appeared on the wall in Mr. Finn's room once the magical phrase was spoken. I don't think we can do that one, but that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Okay, two things. Okay, so I've saved, so hopefully I can come straight back to this. Secondly, what is the evidence we just filed? Spiral machine, Grievenu, portal, end of the Blakes. Okay, fine. Third thing, we can do close and we can do release, but what if we do that thing? Which is just open without the extra bing. Yep. So we've... Oh no, I don't think we can do open, because I think open draws in the line, doesn't it? So let's do clothes and keep Grievenu trapped where he was. Have we done this right? What are we doing? Yes, this is fine. Something is happening. Okay. So let's do the middle bit first. Then we'll do the... Oh, no. Then we'll do... No. Then we'll do the middle. No. We're going to be here a while. Oh, shit. No, hang on. No, we need to go through here. Okay, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's start here. Let's do the outside first. Oh god. 3, 4. I'm trying to make sure this mouse doesn't let go of it. Go straight through. No. No. We'll do this first. And then we'll do the middle, and then we'll finish, for God's sake. Okay, so this is clothes. Back into the thing you go, as you once were. Is this good? Am I gonna get crushed? Are we gonna die in here? Shut it down, close the portal. Wow. Out we go. Are the Fae still there or are the Fae gone? Wow. Mystery solved. I have stopped the ritual. Oh wow, okay, here we go. This is like a full...
So,
Okay, here we go. Miss Dean. I said there wasn't a voice for Miss Dean.
this is where the man who saved my life spends his time.
Wow.
You'll join me.
Yes. I think at the very least, I owe you a drink.
Damn right you do. Is that the end?
Freed from the vase's curse,
Oh, we get a little
Mr.
thing.
Shan became obsessed with seeking out other cursed items hidden across the globe.
Are we going to get a little resolution to everybody? Because that's really nice. Do you think... I know we took all of the spooky goo that we possibly could. Do you think we get endings for everyone who we saved? Like, everyone who got a tick. As if we didn't get a tick for Hisham, we wouldn't have got this resolution. I think if we didn't get the tick for Hisham, we might have... She would have died in the seance, because I think the people that were at the seance were protected one way or another because they were free of the burden on their soul that made them vulnerable. I think that's what we decided. Miss Hisham became obsessed with seeking out other cursed items across the globe.
Miss Montavani's family were devastated with the news of her death, but at least her last wish had been carried out, and they were set for many comfortable years. Mr. O'Mara's angel led him deep into the unknown parts of the world. I never learned in search of what.
Fair enough.
With the curse lifted, Miss Quinn was free to raise her siblings in safety. She supported them only by her earnings as a poet.
Which is, I guess, something you could do back then. That's nice.
Mrs. Darcy disposed of her husband's ghost on her route home. She later turned the events of the manor into the acclaimed horror novel, Eldritch House. Mr. Hunter left the manor and spent his remaining years breeding champion horses for the MacLeod family.
That's nice.
Mr. Doyle left Ireland to see the world.
Ah, look at him. Look at him, dapper guy. Having time of his life in... looks like Paris.
Free from his obligation, Mr. Dupre returned to New Orleans. With a newly opened mind, Mrs. Joyce accompanied him to the New World.
Wow. Wow. Mrs. Joyce overcame her racism so much she went with Dupre to New Orleans. that is a... fair enough.
Mr. Toussaint shared his account of the séance with his societal fellows, after which it was agreed he should spearhead a new department of supernatural investigations.
That's pretty cool. So are people aware of the truth of what happened? That Walter Blake wasn't real and all that? It wasn't a secret we kept?
He also published a paper, thoroughly correcting every element that Mrs. Darcy had embellished in her novel.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Miss Callahan finally retired and passed the role of Dree on the Dr. Callahan.
Sure.
Mrs. Erickson destroyed all remnants of her magical persona and started a new life away from all things supernatural.
She was the first person I think we resolved. I think she wanted to get magic. She wanted to eat Evelyn Dean's heart to gain magic. And basically we caught her immediately. And we basically didn't really speak to her again. She basically just kind of moped around the house, being a bit grumpy with us. So I don't feel as connected with her as I do some of the others, to the point where I forgot her name for most of the game and she became Bumperclutch.
With her family lands returned to her, along with the Quinn fortune, Miss Barbosa began a new life in Ireland.
That's nice. Nice house.
Mrs. Lau and Miss MacLeod retired to a cottage outside London. They never attended another mystical event.
Gal pals! Let me know if you believed in gal pals early on, when we first started pitching the idea.
Mr. O'Finn went deep into the forest and was never seen again.
Hopefully for good reasons.
Miss Murphy continued the studies she began under Miss Dean and used that power to create a better life for herself.
That's nice. That's nice.
With Miss Callahan's help, she was able to reunite with her daughter.
That's good. I wonder if, like, physically.
Father Sinnott retired and spent his last few years exploring the forests of Ireland with his hound, Seamus.
Oh, it's nice seeing him dressed down a bit. I know he's still wearing about 6 layers of fancy clothes, but him and his dog Seamus, free from all the trials of trying to unlock the Black Iron Prison. Yeah, that's nice.
Mr. Skerritt established the Skerritt Foundation, which set up schools and hospitals for the underprivileged. He is thought of fondly by those he helped.
Billionaires today. That's how you do it.
Mr. Varley used the treasure to purchase the manor. He turned it into a refuge for lost souls.
Oh, that's nice. He's a strange one, isn't he? He's got a hardness to him. I think he's warm and he's soft in his true self, but he presents himself with a certain hardness that made it hard to see that for a while.
He kept the name Blake Manor.
Oh, here we go. Detective Ward saved 21 out of 21 people. 37 out of 37 mysteries solved. Nice. Nice. Who's this? Who's this here? Is that Mantovani? Because she died. Can I see Mantovani anywhere? Yeah, I think that's Mantovani.
Do you think this will work?
I have no idea. But I have read her notes.
What are we doing?
She knew what she was doing.
I don't think that sounded like Evelyn Dean, but I don't know Evelyn Dean well enough.
There's no harm in trying, right?
I'm not sure you can say that. Not after everything. But yes, let's do it.
Oh, maybe it is Evelyn Dean.
Age posco. Nego te recusare.
Okay.
Are you there?
Are we going to see our brother? We are.
Hello, brother.
World's best detective. Solve all mysteries of Blake Manor. That was nice. I'm glad we got to see that. I'm guessing that's the game's true ending. I stand by the fact that our ending was we accidentally destroyed the world. Sorry. But I loved that. I really liked getting to see that. Especially as we spoke about how the character stories were the heart of this more than the main through line of the disappearance of Evelyn Dean. Who Evelyn Dean I stand by is not... I mean, who is? Not the best person. She got a meddling in some people's lives in ways that were quite selfish. But she was helping Saoirse Murphy, who I think was one of the most vulnerable people here in the manor. And that's not to be sniffed at. And it sounds like she was helping Ward at the end, which was also nice. Do we want to see what happens if we do the final sigil? Just for completion's sake, I think we should. Let's do that.
He just wants to go home to his people.
Okay. Finish this video off. Yep. I think if we... Is it release? If we release him, I think he's going to kill us. Because he is still a god. But let's see what happens. That's it, isn't it? Here we go. Where do we start? What's got an odd number? Let's start from here. And let's... and then it's just do a circuit, isn't it? I think we're gonna die, is my guess. Oh no, okay, cool. Cool! And then we get this. And then we get Guard Killer. Free Grovenu from his mortal form. And then we get this. Okay, so our original choice... Our original choice to use the open sigil was the worst choice. This is the best choice, because we get to send Grovenu home, and we get to stop the ritual.
So...
Okay. Okay. I've realised I forgot to turn the volume back up. So I'll make a note of that. I can do it in post. There we go. That was the best possible ending. That was the game's best possible ending. We send Grovenu home because we are...
Freed from the Vase's curse.
Empathetic.
Miss Hisham.
Yeah. We're amazing. We send Grovenu home. We stop the ritual. We rescue Evelyn Dean. We save everyone at the seance.
This will work.
And go home. That's the game's perfect ending. Unfortunately, we didn't pick that ending at first, but that's fine because we got to see it all. I think I enjoyed having that moment where I accidentally killed everyone and unleashed hell upon the world. Whoops. My thoughts were I would open the gateway so he could walk through it. That was what I thought. I didn't realise that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Great game. Really enjoyed it. I think I would recommend it. Not to you, obviously, because you've seen the entire game through played basically perfectly. We solved all the mysteries. We saved all the people. So, but yeah, you know, tell people to play this game. It's great fun. I've got another game I'm going to play next. It's going to be a shorter game. I'm going to play Mind Diver. I think that's about a quarter of the length of this game. I found a site that tells you how long games roughly are. This game was meant to be about 20 hours, but we spent about 30 or so hours on it. But that's fine. So Mind Diver is going to be about 5 hours, I think. Just a short little one. But it looks interesting, so we're going to be playing that next. If you've watched all these, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to actually put this out in the world and just talk through my thoughts, and I hope you've been enjoying the mystery of it all and the wonderful storytelling of this cool game, because I've enjoyed it a lot. I think it was Hazel Erickson was just played by Aoife. That's just her entire name. Yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot, and I'm going to keep doing it for a while. I'm going to try and stick to some mystery games, but if I might blend the genres up a bit. I did have a look at playing one of the Zelda games I haven't played before, but I think it was going to be too tricky to get the emulator to work. And that's it, really. I think I've given you all my thoughts on the game. We talked about it through the first running of the credits. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And stick around, because we're going to do some more of these. I think after Mind Diver, we're going to do The Root Trees Are Dead, which I've heard is very good and maybe quite similar to this game in style, genre. We'll stick for the mysteries for now. I do enjoy the mysteries. Maybe we won't be an entirely mystery channel, but I've got the bug, you know? So, after all that, I say thank you, and please come back. Oh, and like or whatever. I don't know. You know the drill. Bye.